This pandemic has impacted us all. Sure, in different ways and at different levels, but the impact is still there. So today I want to go beyond the states opening back up and really think critically at what certain industries are going to look like after the coronavirus. Hey Atime, if we're just meeting, welcome to the channel that brings actionable content to grow your business through online marketing. So if that sounds beneficial, consider subscribing. Now before we jump in, understand that this is my opinion, of course. I enjoy looking at trends, human behavior, and just paying attention overall. So as I was thinking about this pandemic, analyzing some businesses as I've been investing in the stock market, a few realizations hit me. The first realization was that the airline industry, which forms a part of the travel industry, is just not gonna be the same. There will be airlines that go bankrupt. Their margins are razor thin already as it is, and for them to be on the tarmac without flying people anywhere, and if they do lift their wheels off of the ground and only going at half a capacity or a fourth of a capacity, then that's trouble. And right now, the airline industry has been propped up because of the huge stimulus packages that have helped them out. And as that aid dries up, there will be a few companies that just won't be able to sustain their operating costs, so they're gonna have to go into bankruptcy and either restructure their entire way of doing things or go into bankruptcy and dissolve altogether. And there's two big type of travelers that make the bulk of the airline fares, and that is your business traveler and your tourism traveler. And from the business side, you're talking about a big ticket item. You're talking about the seats in the business class that a lot of the business people would purchase because it was the company that was paying for them. And now that businesses have really and truly realized that they can do a good amount of the work from home and on the computer without traveling to a destination, then the airline industries are finding themselves in a world of hurt because there's a lot of business travelers that just won't come back. So that multi-$1,000 seat that was reserved for that business traveler that had no issue paying for that seat is going to go vacant. There's not going to be enough demand from business travelers to fulfill the demand. So prices at that level will have to come down. And from the tourism side, not only is that not happening at the moment, but in the foreseeable future, it's not going to come back as quickly as everybody would like. The consumer confidence just isn't there. So booking a trip out of country is just not on the cards for a lot of travelers. So the airline industry is going to have to find a way to incentivize more travelers and or pivot and make money somewhere else. One of the ways that the airline industry has adapted at the moment is by using the planes as cargo planes. So they are delivering freight back and forth instead of people. And I do suspect that this industry that already lacks competition given the high barrier to entry cost will find itself with even less competition. Companies will get bigger and there will be less competition as the larger companies buy out the smaller companies. Another type of business that's going to look drastically different is the gym business, which forms part of the fitness industry. At-home fitness, very similar to working at home, was already on the rise, and this coronavirus has accelerated its adoption. So as you know, gyms were shut down and people that wanted to work out and continue a healthy lifestyle were forced to work out at home. So that's why you saw a resurgence on programs like P90X, which was incredibly hot back in 2010, 2011. It made a comeback. And also, you saw fitness companies like Peloton just skyrocket. And while at first it started out as a mandate, people soon started to realize that it was safer, less expensive, and more convenient to work out from home than having a gym membership. So what you're gonna find is that a lot of people will not renew their gym membership even when they have the ability to go back to the gym. So at this point, I see gyms kind of like libraries. So hear me out. In the past, you used to go to libraries for the knowledge and the hardware. That's where the books were at. That's where the computers were at when they first were introduced. And that's where the high-speed internet was at. But now, since all of that is accessible through your phone, libraries needed to adapt. Libraries changed it into a more social, collaborative atmosphere. So people are not going to the libraries for that book, for that internet connection or the computer. They're going there to collaborate and meet. So I see gyms doing much the same thing because they do have to adapt, because I as a consumer and you as a consumer, you have the fitness plans on your phone. And you don't necessarily need to go to the gym for the weights in the routine. You have a way to adapt at home. Weights are really not that expensive and they are very adaptable. So you have adjustable weights, so you don't need all of these barbells and all of these weights lying around your house. Gyms make money on the memberships, of course, and many people just will not come back to gyms even once they open back up. Another type of business that's going to look different is the hotel business, which is part of the hospitality industry. Right now, the pleasure and business travel is dead. Now, will the tourism travel come back? Of course it will, but it's going to take some time. So now the question becomes, will the business travel come back? And at this point, I don't think so, at least not in the same levels as in the past. So as you know, I'm with eXp Realty and we just got through with our virtual summit and I was able to consume over 20 hours worth of talks and content. And in the past, had I gone to the summit or gone to a convention or really any organization that's held at a hotel, you would have to pay for airfare, you would have to pay for meals, you would have to pay for hotel, you would have to pay for the actual ticket to get in, and on and on. And at the end of the day, you wouldn't be able to experience the entire conference. You would miss certain panels, certain masterminds, certain talks. But now, since everything's online, you really don't miss anything. So hotels have a hard time up ahead. They already had a huge formidable foe with Airbnb, and even Airbnb is struggling. You have people selling their Airbnb homes en masse. They just simply can't sustain the mortgages. So it's kind of like a rental property, except now with nobody coming in a short-term rental, they're scrambling. And hotels kind of remind me of the big box stores that were wiped out by the online industry. So as big box stores went out of business, you found that big commercial space be converted into self-storage units. So as a fun business experiment, I've been trying to figure out what could hotels be converted into. So let me know in the comments section down below what you think they could be converted into, because I would actually be interested. And something else that's going to be incredibly impactful is you going down to the bottom of this video and hitting that like button. And another type of business / industry that's going to be heavily impacted is commercial real estate. We've dabbed into a bit of commercial as we've been going through this video, but I want to focus on the office space. We know that many businesses just will not open, but even beyond that, you have to look at behavior. A lot of businesses were forced to send their employees home and not have them come into the office. So that left a shortage of webcams, that left a shortage of adapters, that left a shortage of monitors and all that fun stuff. So it's been very difficult to up my recording studio because there's just a depletion of what I need. But what that means is that companies have realized that their employees can do just as much work at home than they can at the office. And for companies, what it cost them was setting up a secure network where employees can log in securely. And that's basically it. And you have companies that help with this, like let's just say Zoom, that it did have a little bit of a rocky start there because of its security issues, but has gotten a lot better. You've had those companies just skyrocket. Just to show the disparity, at this moment, Zoom has a larger market cap than a big portion of the airline industry combined. So with more businesses allowing their employees to stay at home in perpetuity, they're finding that their large commercial lease can go away. They won't be renewing that lease, which very similar to the retail industry is going to leave a surplus of commercial space, which again is going to leave a large opportunity for those entrepreneurs that want to figure out what to do in those vacant spots. Well, now that we looked at the industries that are going to look a bit different after this coronavirus, it's time to get back to business. So I'll leave a video that's going to help you do that. Also, if you found value today, please be sure to subscribe. It really does help me out. And of course, make it your best day yet.